Thanks for joining us for another Tantrum House crowdfunding conniption. Today we're looking at Ptolemaeus from Jocaranda Games.
As always, we want to make you aware that our crowdfunded videos are sponsored in part by our Kickstarter backers, as well as the creators of this game.
Hello and welcome to Tantrum House Studio 3. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Journeyman Dan, and today we're doing an overview of Ptolemaeus, a 1 to 4 player game with card drawing and hand management along with some set collection elements.
In the game, you take the role of an astronomer trying to predict the patterns of the 7 known celestial bodies and become the best student of Ptolemy. Now we've got a prototype copy we're looking at, so let's jump in and take a look.
Place the board on the table along with the various decks of cards.
Set the planets on the board following one of the predetermined setups.
Give each player their tokens, an endgame goal card, and 2 constellation cards to start their hand.
During a round, each player takes 3 turns.
On your turn, you can draw 2 cards in any combination of either face-up or blind off the top of the deck.
You can also observe a constellation by discarding either the matching card, 2 cards of the same color, or 3 cards of a different color. Then place one of your tokens on the constellation.
Another option is observing one of the 4 configurations, such as a conjuncture, when 2 planets are in the same constellation. If you ever place a 3rd token, you immediately get to study a planet in that constellation, gaining the Asteroid token if available. You can turn 2 Asteroid tokens in for a bonus card, or keep 3 for a point at the end of the game.
Once each player has taken 3 turns, move the 3 planets shown on the center card along with the comet. If the comet ever lands on a constellation with a planet, it skips forward until it lands on an empty spot, removing any player tokens at that location.
Reveal the next movement card and begin the new round. Keep drawing and placing tokens as you try to study planets as they move. Once a player reaches 12 points, or the comet makes it all the way back around to where it started, the game is over.
Ptolemaeus is a lighter weight card management drafting game where you are trying to use your actions to gain the cards necessary so that you can do some observing and studying of the planets. Now, there are alternate ways to study the planets, so normally you have to have 3 on that one constellation, but if you are able to get 2 study tokens other places or observation tokens other places on the board, you can do an alternate study where you pull those off. You have to spend 4 tokens instead of the 3, so it is a little bit more expensive to do it that way, but sometimes it's difficult to get the exact card you need, so it's an alternate way that you can score points.
That's very true, and that can be very handy for sure. There are other configurations. We mentioned the conjuncture. There's also opposition, trine, and square. These are just different ways where you can watch for future movements and see where those planets are going to be, try to anticipate that as the game goes on, and have a better way of placing more tokens out on the board.
Yep, I had that happen where I was able to make basically a triangle, and you have to be able to place at all locations, but I had gotten a lot of 1 color cards, so I was like, oh, this is perfect, I can play this on my next turn. One thing you do need to keep in mind is everybody has a goal card, and that goal card gives you 3 planets that you can gain 3 additional bonus points if you can observe and study all of those. So it does kind of push you in one direction for getting points in the game and what you're going to work on. But that is 25% of the points needed to end the game, so it is a big push. But so just paying attention to what your goal card is and trying to fulfill it can help you out quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Some games where they have those goals, it's like 2 points, but it's out of 50, so it really doesn't matter. But when you're talking about 3 out of 12,
yeah,
that is huge. And I think when we all played, Will won with 9 points, Sarah and I had 8, my wife had 7. So it's definitely a very close game, and those goals can make or break it at the end. The game length can vary depending on how quickly that comet moves around. Sometimes it just goes one at a time. Sometimes it has to skip a couple of planets, and so you you aren't sure how quickly the game is going to end. You feel like maybe it's going along at a nice pace, and then all of a sudden it jumps to constellations, and the speed just ratchets up. So that provides some variability as you play through the game.
Yes, the game does tap into the theme. Those cards that tell you which planets are going to move, that is all based on star charts and where planets have actually been at specific dates. So I think there was one that was lined up with the one of the Apollo missions. So they also, you can kind of predict what might happen on some of those cards because it's also based on how quickly the planets orbit our sun. So obviously, Mercury, Venus, those are going to orbit more quickly than, say, Saturn and Jupiter.
And that can definitely play into your strategy. I definitely messed that up because I was trying to focus on Saturn, and I think maybe it moved once.
Yeah.
And the other ones were moving a lot. So I spent too much time focusing on that and then had to rush to get the other ones. If Ptolemaeus looks interesting to you, definitely check it out on Kickstarter now. And as always, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. And as always, like this video and subscribe to Tantrum House, and you said
Dan
you
is
always
pulling a
messed it up.
Sarah. I can't finish the video.
I had
That's what
like
happens to me every time.
two words. Has the sun spun around us? Or did he think they were just going around us?
I thought they were probably going around us, is what I'm assuming. I don't think he understood that they were going around.
Probably way overthinking it.
Well, I'm just trying to make